Hello there and welcome to round 9 of the 2017 Daytona DMAX Heavy Enduro Championship. The battle for the title is still on here at Daytona Tamworth, but we've just had qualifying. I'll tell you what, I was very impressed by this man, Paul Studd, fastest super heavy, 4th place. You must have hooked that up really nicely round there.
Yeah, kart felt great. I had good grip on that. I've got quite a lot of track knowledge here, so I thought I'd do really well, but I'm just as surprised as you.
And with regards to the key characteristics, we see a lot of camber here, a lot of uphill, downhill, a lot of momentum shifting, especially going through turn 3, turn 4. Do you think that's going to play to your strengths, having this wealth of track knowledge?
Yeah, I mean, it does. I mean, I think the weight helps well because I can carry the speed through the corners a bit more. Yeah, I do generally quite well here, so I'm looking forward to the race.
Okay, well done, Paul.
But then, Tomek, our pole sitters we've seen all weekend, you know, you get someone who just drives off into the distance in qualifying, but from what we've seen, the races, it might be much closer.
I think it's going to be very close. Tom said that I qualified by a big margin, but I think, you know, he'll get up to speed. He always does. He doesn't do the best qualifiers ever, but then he gets up to speed during the race, so I'll definitely have to watch my back, and I'm going to be under pressure a bit, that's for sure.
And of course, your point that you've scored for pole position actually helps your championship challenge, because that technically becomes one of your drop scores. So I suppose it must put you in a bit more of a confident position for the championship.
Not yet, not yet. If I win, then or finish the race in front of Tom Pughe, then I'll say, you know, it's good. But so far, it's hard to say. It's a long race, so anything can happen.
Well, best of luck. You were actually saying how technical and tricky the track is. So, do you think it's going to be much of a challenge for you?
It always is. It might sometimes look that, you know, I'm not doing much behind the steering wheel, but it's really hard work. It requires a lot of focus every single time, every single corner and braking point. So, yeah, it's going to be still a big challenge, definitely.
Well, best of luck. Thank you, Tomek.
Cheers.
So we heard there, you know, the drivers have got to think about it. It's going to be hard to focus, and they've got an hour-long race, Alex. So, what do you think?
I think anything is possible, especially in the heavy enduros. Well, we've got 20 karts, we've got an hour of racing. Cry havoc, and let's slip the dogs of war for round 9. So drivers have now been motioned to go forward onto their single formation lap ahead of round 9 of the 2017 Daytona DMAX Championship in the heavy enduro class here at Daytona Tamworth. So as the field starts to head through turn 2, we'll give you the running order in terms of starting positions here today at round 9. It's Tomek Zaustowicz, current point leader on pole position ahead of Alex Pritchard. Tom Pughe and Paul Studd leading super heavy in terms of fastest time on row 2 ahead of Tarek Almu and Rob Bennett on row 3. Lee Whitney, Adam Nakart, row 4. Chris Monroe and Paul Manton rounding out the top 10 on row 5 ahead of Adrian Wisniewski and Vinod Hirani on row 6. Stephen Hussey, Chris Pebbody, Tim Lane, Darren Hughes, Gary Martin, Mark Ford, Paul Crucy and David May rounding out the 20 strong grid, who are now coming through into turn 6.
So we're about to get underway on the rolling start. Who's going to get it coming up to the lights, Alex?
So round towards the final turn, they come 180 degrees, a hairpin turn towards the start-finish straight here at Daytona Tamworth. To your left, it's Tomek Zaustowicz. To your right, it's Alex Pritchard on the front row. Tom Pughe starts from 3rd, and we go green for the first time, and Zaustowicz goes into the lead with Tom Pughe. There's a battle between Paul Studd and Tarek Almu for 4th place going into turn 2 and 3. Rob Bennett getting in the mix as well. It's all kicking off with the heavies already. And there was a bit of a twitchy moment there. Was that from Lee Whitney as Chris Monroe puts one past Lee Whitney going into turn 4. And Lee Whitney has just retaken the place back from Chris Monroe going out of turn 8 as the leaders start to come through turn 10 for the first time of asking. So it's Zaustowicz from Pritchard, from Pughe, from Paul Studd. Rob Bennett now up into 5th place, having started in 6th. And there's a battle between Adam Nakar and Chris Monroe a couple of places down as Tarek Almu goes up the inside of Rob Bennett side by side. The pair head down into turn 2. Rob Bennett cuts the door off into turn 2, nicely into the turn 3 right-hand sweeper. And the battling down the order is still happening with Adrian Wisniewski there as well. Paul Manton's in the mix. I think you've also got the likes of Vinod Hirani.
Meanwhile, they make their way now onto the Indy circuit for the second time in this race. There was a couple of guys who just didn't have enough tyre temperature in the car so far. We've got a side-by-side
and
moment.
that's Tarek Almu up the inside of Rob Bennett going into turn 6 with Lee Whitney hot on their heels.
And I think Rob had a twitch on going through turn number 3. He just really struggled with the cold brakes and the cold tyres.
Meanwhile, Tomek Zaustowicz is continuing to lead this race and is starting to pull a gap between himself and the number 15 of Alex Pritchard as the battle is intensifying for places from second. Now look at this train, Dan. It's a 6-kart train for second place, starting with Alex Pritchard and finishing with Lee Whitney. And further down the field, you've got the likes of Chris Pebbody and Adrian Wisniewski fighting for position there.
And they're doing fantastically well so far. It's looking very close, but all of this means Tomek Zaustowicz has made a massive lead so far.
And Almu's just gone up the inside of Bennett going into turn 5. Nice clean pass by Tarek there on Bennett. And Bennett goes back up the inside. Side by side, the pair come out of turn 10 into turn 11. Mind out for that cone, gents. And Almu's got the inside run going into turn 12. Nice clean dicing between Messrs Almu, Bennett and Whitney's gone side by side with Bennett on the run down into turn 2. The pair touch side pods, but Whitney slots back behind.
Having to defend so far, 3 of them line astern. It's looking very close indeed. Trying to go around the outside is Bennett. Into turn number 4, trying to defend his line on the left-hand side. He up the inside at turn 5. Good, decent move. Pulled ahead, just had enough for a gap in order to take the position, and has pulled a kart length. So for now, he did all right, but going deep's not going to help him. He's got to defend once again into turn number 6. Again, it just snakes right and then left and then right again. He's got to be quite patient, especially into the tightest parts of the Indy circuit. If he can hold them off here, then he's got a fair chance of keeping them off coming into turn number 1.
And I have to say, some very clean driving from all 20 so far.
Don't say that. We need to touch wood.
That's why I said so far. But meanwhile, the battle between Tarek Almu and Rob Bennett is showing no signs of slowing down at any time soon. Well, Rob Bennett has actually left Tarek Almu in the dust, so to speak, and he's hot on the heels of leading super heavy Paul Studd, who's currently in 4th. They're coming through into turn 7. Followed by Almu and Whitney with Nakar, Monroe, Manton, Pebbody, who has got past Wisniewski for position.
Side by side with Bennett there. There was a little touch coming into turn number 10. Defends it on the left-hand side coming into 11, and by the hairpin, pretty much got the move made. So clean stuff there by Rob Bennett, defending from Almu, as you were mentioning just a moment ago.
Now, if you keep an eye on not just Bennett and Studd, but you've also got the battle in front between Messrs Pritchard and Pughe, separated by about 3 kart lengths on the approach into turn 4.
But all of this is really helping Tomek Zaustowicz in the lead this race so far. 3.8 seconds in 6 laps. That is incredible, isn't it? 0.7 of a second quicker on that last lap than Alex Pritchard. He's just doing what he's got to do. He's got to nail it, go as quickly as he can, get away as quickly as he can. Job done.
And he's sizing up Tom Pughe, is Rob Bennett.
Almost a nudge.
And that was all that side by side between Alex Pritchard and Tom Pughe coming out as turn number 5 into turn 6 they come. Rob Bennett is in the mix there as well, and Pughe misses out to Rob Bennett, and Bennett takes both Pughe and Pritchard to take second. Wow!
He sold them. He can sold them a complete dummy. In 3 corners, has gone from being behind them quicker than anyone else on the circuit, and just gone right. You've gone wide trying to overtake. Never mind you, I'm going at the inside here. Okay, I'll take you in the next corner. Did both in 2 or 3 corners. Fantastic stuff from Rob Bennett. And he's still 0.2 a lap quicker at the moment than Tomek. So even though Tomek's 5.8 seconds ahead, can Rob catch up?
Well, that remains to be seen here, Dan, because Bennett is starting to pull a gap between himself and Alex Pritchard.
And Alex Pritchard is actually defending very heavily. He's already moving the cars about, trying to stop the door, shut the door, say, look, there isn't any room here, don't even bother. But, you know, Tom has to take as many points as he can, because he needs as many.
And he puts one up the inside going out into turn 7 there. Nice work by Tom Pughe. Nice side-by-side move by Alex with him and Alex Pritchard. Let's just take a quick onboard from Alex Pritchard's GoPro. So Pughe had the run onto the inside into turn number 7. mounted the curb with 2 wheels and had enough room to make it stick, and goes round the outside into turn 8. So this is going to help Tom Pughe's championship hopes. He can make up some ground, and great move by Paul Manton into turn number 11 up the inside on Chris Monroe.
Very clean, very consistent move, just thinking about it enough in order to get a good move. Well thought out, well planned, well executed.
But Monroe is thinking of throwing one of his own at Manton. Not quite yet, though, I must say. But Tarek Almu is still in touching distance with Paul Studd.
He goes up the inside.
Oh, there's a bit of contact there between both Monroe and Manton. Coming into turn 5, Manton gets ahead at turn 6. It's pod to pod, nearly side by side into turn 7. Manton's got the inside run. Wisniewski's right on the back bumper of Monroe. So if either Monroe or Manton make a mistake, Wisniewski will be there to capitalise.
But at the moment, Tomek Zaustowicz.
Almu's trying to go side by side through turn 5, gets past Paul Studd. Paul Studd gesticulates as if to say that was a bit harsh there.
Well, he's not going to be happy, is he, if he's just been overtaken? But now they've got traffic to negotiate as well, which might tip the balance once again. Although that did look like that had gone the wrong way for Paul. The closest gap on circuit at the moment is the one for 4th between Pritchard and Almu. 15 versus 14 in 4th and 5th. They make their way around the club circuit. Turn number 3, the longer right-handed corners for another tighter right-hander into the left-hander. It's bumpy, it undulates. As Alex explained earlier, it's much like the Stelvio Pass. Really beautiful piece of karting circuit here. And then it contrasts almost in seconds because we get onto the Indy circuit. It's very tight, it's relatively flat, bumpy. You know, you've got 90-degree right-handers, 90-degree left-handers, 180-degree hairpins, a couple of them to contend with.
Wait a minute, look at Lee Whitney. He's now having to fend off the advances of a very close Adam Nakar. That's for 7th. They come through turn number 10. So there's that battle, and you've got the battle between Pritchard and Almu, who just come through turn 1. Paul Studd a bit further down the road. Then it's Whitney, followed by Nakar. They ran out the top 8.
Whitney was looking over his right-hand shoulder, definitely concerned.
And Monroe is really on the back bumper of Paul Manton, heading through turn 2 into turn number 3. He's got real good momentum here.
Late move.
Right up past
Contact.
Paul Manton. Another bit of contact between the pair.
But
Manton goes back at him through turn number 5 into turn 6, where Monroe has the inside line. Monroe goes wide, gesticulates to Manton.
He keeps position just for now, but that was an exciting few moments. There seems to be potentially a board going out just to tell him, calm down lads, it's fantastic racing as ever. You don't want to get too argy-bargy though, because then you'll get a telling off by the stewards, and you really don't want that. We want nice clean racing. In fact, one board going out, no curbing being warned to a couple of the riders.
Oh, and that was very, very close for Rob Bennett. He went sideways coming out of turn 1 with one back marker up ahead. That was very close for Rob Bennett, because that could have put him into a tail slide and allowed Tom Pughe to get past for 2nd.
Meanwhile, Lee Whitney and Adam Nakar getting side by side, trying to come on the exit of turn number 1. Through 2 and 3 now, bobbling over the curbs and the bumps. Nearly made a move up the inside line, couldn't quite do it unfortunately, but that is the closest I've seen Adam Nakar trying to make a move up the inside. Just having to patiently wait. Seems to be a bit tighter through turn number 4 and 5. But we'll see in just a few minutes' time, can the move actually be made? Into the Indy circuit they come.
Well, look at this. Tarek Almu has got past Alex Pritchard for position, and right behind them is Paul Studd, the leading super heavy out on track.
That throws a few spanners in the works as well, doesn't it? It's still incredibly close as they go through turn number 3. Trying to look at the inside.
Pritchard's gone for it.
Had to back out of it though, just couldn't get his nose in, could he? And we're just working out the championship permutations.
Well, at the moment, if it was to finish right now, we would definitively be going to the Milton Keynes finale in terms of drop scores. Now, fastest lap at the moment
is Tomek,
Well,
which would still mean it goes. It just means he's on one more point.
he's got so that would be a 32-point buffer for Tomek Zaustowicz going into the championship finale at Milton Keynes, with Tom Pughe on 3:08. Then you got Adam Nakar would move up into third on 2:64, ahead of Rob Bennett by 3 points. Then Alex Pritchard, a result, would drop to fifth. And then that would then exclude Lee Whitney from the title fight. Lee's currently 224 in the standings with point scores as well. As now this battle is really heating up between Almu and Pritchard. Well, this battle for fourth is really heating up. Tarek Almu is being hindered a little bit, as is Paul Studd. What are you? That was very close. Paul Studd nearly had the inside going into turn 11 on Alex Pritchard, with one of the back markers splitting the duo. I was trying to make out which cart that was. That might have been, I'm not too sure, was it David May in the number 61?
It could have been Stephen Hussey in the 62.
Well, we'll keep an eye out which back marker that was. So at the moment, by a country mile, it's current points leader Tomek Zaustowicz who leads this race from Rob Bennett and Tom Pughe.
Do you want to know the gap?
Go on.
11.240.
Well, that just says it all about the calibre of Tomek Zaustowicz. He's shown that he can fight through the field. He knows that he can lead from lights to flag, from pole position. He's also set the fastest lap of this race. He's on course for a full clean sweep of the points with a maximum 52 this afternoon. Pritchard's still keeping Almu very honest. They've just come through turn 3. Pritchard puts it up the inside into turn 4. Nice work by Alex Pritchard there. He hassled Almu, went for it and made it stick. Makes the overtake complete into turn 5, but Almu has got one of his own to put back on Pritchard. They're side by side on the approach into turn 7. Pritchard closes the door very firmly there, with Paul Studd right on the back bumper of Tarek Almu going through into turn 8. It's not over yet by a long shot, this battle for P4.
Through the rest of the Indy circuit they go. It is looking absolutely fantastic, isn't it? It's taken a very long time to really think, to focus, to plan the attack, to plan the move. Out to the final corner they come. Alex Pritchard will be scored in 4th place on this lap, which is a big achievement in itself, really, because that gives, to a driver, they give so much confidence just saying, well, I've done it once, I can stay here, can't I?
Very true. Tarek Almu goes side by side with Alex Pritchard into turn 1. It's a drag race into turn 2. Pritchard pushes ahead. Into turn 3 they go. That was great battling between Pritchard and Almu through into turn 1. Almu went for it, went side by side with Pritchard, but Pritchard cut the door off firmly going into turn 2.
He had enough respect. He just said, look, we need to give you enough space to go side by side, but nothing more. But Alex Pritchard with his superior exit from the first corner, the 90-degree right-hander, he just had enough to keep it in front for now.
He's gone up the inside into the final corner. Nice move by Tom Pughe to retake second place. They're barging, well, they were barging sideboards coming towards the start-finish straight. I think that will be investigated.
So, in fact, we can hear next door is Race and Tron in the commentary box. We can hear them going, what happened there, guys? So, you know, you said that it might be investigated. You mean it will be investigated?
So Pritchard has got a gap between himself and Almu. Almu is coming under pressure, being hassled by Paul Studd, who's gone nearly side by side through into turn 6. It's now the run down to turn 7. Tarek Almu's got the inside line. Paul Studd is trying to force it. They come through turn 8. And Tarek Almu is actually saying to Paul Studd, let's work together and catch back up to Alex Pritchard.
And it's nose to tail as well for the battle for second place. Bennett has closed up all the way to the back. In fact, he's through on Tom Pughe. So, round the back of the circuit, Bennett's pulled us one. Tomek Zaustowicz has set a new fastest lap, 56.679. But in the battle for second place, Rob Bennett has retaken the position.
Last lap board for Tomek Zaustowicz, who's been dominant as Tom Pughe is really hot on the heels of Rob Bennett going into the final corner.
They move up the inside, going in for second place. Tom Pughe just about takes it. They go side by side, there's contact. We've seen that.
That's the second time that's happened. They did that about 15 or so minutes ago. Meanwhile, let's catch up with our leader, current points leader, Tomek Zaustowicz, through into turn number 7 for the final time.
The checker flag is being readied.
So, Tomek Zaustowicz is corners away from a maximum score here in the penultimate round of round 9 of the 2017 Daytona DMAX Inter Enduro Championship. Tomek Zaustowicz comes round the final corner and takes the checkered flag to win here at Daytona Tamworth. But it's a squabble between Bennett and Pughe. Who's going to come out better? It's Rob Bennett. Rob Bennett is just ahead by a kart length and a half.
Not quite yet, though. They've got 2 corners left to go. He might be a bit too far back, but Tom Pughe's definitely looking around the outside into turn 2. Going to try and get the kart back. They've tried this once, they've tried this twice. It wouldn't work out in the end. Rob Bennett does take second place ahead of Tom Pughe. And a new fastest lap from Tomek Zaustowicz on that last lap of 56.507. Boy, that man's pushing.
Well, 63 laps, and Tomek Zaustowicz signs off with a maximum score in style here at Daytona Tamworth for round 9 of the 2017 Daytona DMAX Heavy Enduro Championship. This is another title that heads to the Milton Keynes finale in approximately 5 weeks' time. Tomek Zaustowicz is on 340 points. Rob Bennett is on 260, a bit further down the standings. Tom Pughe is just 32 points adrift, having secured third. So your podium, it's Tomek Zaustowicz taking a clean sweep of the points in terms of maximum score ahead of Rob Bennett and Tom Pughe rounding out the podium. Then it was Alex Pritchard who got the better of both Tarek Almu and super heavyweight winner Paul Studd in 6th. Adam Nakar came out on top in the battle between himself and Lee Whitney for 7th. Chris Monroe finished in 9th ahead of Paul Manton, with Adrian Wisniewski, Chris Pebbody, Vinod Hirani, Stephen Hussey, Tim Lane, Darren Hughes, Mark Ford, Gary Martin, David May and Paul Crucci rounding out the 20-strong grid.
The champion in the DMAX Heavy Enduro Series, Tomek Zaustowicz.
So, double champion, heats and now Enduros. Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Tomek. Let's start off, first of all, with Paul Studd. Well done, my friend. 4th in qualifying. And you had a really good battle with Alex Pritchard and Tarek Almu in the latter stages, but you settled for 6th. That must have been really good. You said to me earlier on, track knowledge. That was a big telling point, because I could see you putting the anchors on at the right point, using the momentum, using the outside line as well to carry it through.
Yeah, I mean, I do get on quite well this track, but I was also mindful not to make any silly mistakes. Also, I want to try and gain as many points to try and close the championship up to Chris. So I had that in the back of my mind, so I didn't want to do anything too silly.
And thoughts ahead of Milton Keynes next month?
Yeah. I'm looking forward to that. It's my home track, so we'll see how we go.
All the very best of luck. Paul Studd, our super heavyweight winner for round 9. Dan, you've got the man in 3rd place, Tom Pughe.
So, Tom Pughe, well, hopefully, first of all, I hope your hand's not feeling too bad at the moment.
No, it's all right. It's just I've got tendonitis from last weekend, so it might sound like a big excuse, but it's genuinely not. Down the bottom there, that wasn't me taking the wrong line. That was me. The only way I could get around the corner without shooting pains down my arm. But apart from that, tried my best, and yeah, I tried a sneaky little move on Rob here as well, but he come back past down the bottom there where I was weak, and then I tried it again 1 lap from the last. I thought, do I do it on the last lap or the one from last? And I wish I now just tried it, left it till the last lap, not the one from last though. But yeah, we'll see. 3rd is okay. But that's the championship over, so well done, Tomek.
Well, it got heated between the pair of you. You can stand a bit closer. It got heated between the pair of you during that race. Were you enjoying it out there then?
Oh yeah, no, that's nothing. What we're doing out there, that's just, well, sometimes the carts collect together, and especially on a tight hairpin like this, as they come together, the bumpers on the actual carts themselves, they come together. It feels like you're turning into each other. But if you look at our steering wheels and they're actually in a straight line, they collect and they just work out as if they want to work with each other, and your arm comes up. It's natural because you're heated, you're pushing as hard as you can out there. What else are you meant to do, you know? So it's just one of them. But no, there's nothing wrong with me and Rob. It's all fine. Yeah.
Well, it was a great race. Commiserations, but congratulations.
All right, cheers. Thank you.
Well, with me, we've got the other man in that battle, Rob. the battling between you and Tom was nothing short of spectacular. Contact coming through here a couple of times in the latter stage of the race, but you held on. Must have been really good to get second place.
Yeah, it was very exciting. I had absolutely no idea Tom was behind me. I thought that I'd maybe like at least 4 or 5 kart lengths, and then he just popped up here and completely took me by surprise. I think I got back round at turn 1, 2, 3, 4 maybe, and then that was 4 minutes to go, so it was really high pressure. I could really, every time I sort of had a quick look over, he was right behind me. Then I think again we exchanged places, and then just held on to it, and then held on for the last lap. But that's probably one of the most difficult battles I've had this season to hold a place.
And that must have pumped the adrenaline through the veins quite literally there as well.
Yeah, I really didn't want to lose it with 4 minutes to go. That was, but it was good. Please.
Well done, Rob. And Dan has got our newly crowned 2017 Heavy Enduro Championship, Tomek Zaustowicz, who's also
Tomek,
a race winner.
Congratulations, 20 seconds, the win in the end. What were you doing, Harry? Were you just going flat out, or...?
Flat out all the time. I wasn't lifting off anywhere. Yeah, actually, my best lap time was the last lap, so it shows I wasn't, giving up at any time. At some point, when you're just in the lead, you start to think about everything, about the weather, what you're going to say at the interview, what where everyone is and so forth. And that's the moment when I started losing focus, and then I thought, like, come on, if I start driving slower or, just take it easy, then I might just start making mistakes. So I was pushing to the end.
Well, with such a win like that, obviously winning the championship in this race, do you class that as a champion's drive?
Sorry, what was that?
So, 22nd win there in the end. Do you class that as a champion's drive after you won the championship?
No, I mean, I know many guys in our class that could do the same. So, just my conditions today, and I could dial into the track right away, starting from the qualifying. So, it's just a lot of factors that played well for me today.
Well, second last year, first this year. What are your plans for next year?
Well, hopefully I can defend the championship and not give it away to anyone else.
Well, best of luck. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Well, with this man finally doing the double, nice one, Tomek.
Well done.
Thank you. Cheers.
Dan, it's been a really, really great way to end the Enduro action, with Tomek taking the Enduro title this weekend, the second title we've had decided. It's going to be very interesting in the heats because he's already taken that title as well.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. Obviously, we've got those coming up later on this afternoon. A fantastic afternoon's racing for an hour, and now you can go and have a bit of a breather before your heat. So,
I definitely will. Yeah, feeling a bit knackered already, but still gonna push during the hits. So, got to take a rest. Thank you very much.
thank you. Well, very happy man, as you should be. Champion, really good way to do it. 20 seconds.
Well, 2018, maybe if you want to get up alongside Tomek Zaustowicz on the grid, maybe enter the Daytona DMAX Championship. Why not visit our website or call this number?